In this video, I'm going to show you 15 incredible environmental structure mods that will make exploring our world much more enjoyable. This time, it's more focused on passive or environmental structures to improve immersion in the game. But if you're looking for dungeon-type structures, I already have a video on my channel where you can find those types of structures. Without further ado, let's get started. We'll start the top with one of the best-known, structure. This mod adds a huge variety of structures to our world with a vanilla appearance and very good decorations, from new abandoned ruins, watchtowers, houses, stables, cemeteries, boats, etc., each with very good decorations and maintaining the aesthetics of vanilla Minecraft. In some of these, we can encounter enemies and spawners. However, the mod is more set in peaceful structures for our world. And if we combine it with structure towers, we can have new, very well-designed tower structures throughout our world. Most of these are watchtowers that we can find in various biomes of the game, from forests, mangroves, deserts, oceans, jungle, etc. But we will also have some special ones like this gigantic sword, a giant mushroom, and the lighthouse. All with an incredible design in the vanilla style and with some decorations inside. We can also find them in different dimensions of the game, and they will be very well adapted to the biome in which they are located. Jungle Treehouse Village is a mod that adds practically an entire village inside a treehouse. Here we can find different types of villagers, farming areas, and even a bedroom. In addition, it also has a work area for the villagers and a very good view of the jungle. It also adds a drop from the top to make it easier to descend from the base. An incredible mod in case you ever thought about living in a treehouse. Skywall Ships is an incredible mod that adds 4 new gigantic whales to the skies of our world. Each one will carry with it some interesting structures such as a watchtower, a combat arena, and the best one, in my opinion, has 2 gigantic mansions on its back. Inside these, we can find some enemies that we must defeat in chests with quite interesting loot. A small mod, but one that will undoubtedly give a magical or fantasy atmosphere to the skies of our Minecraft. Craftified is one of the most complete mods for environmental structures that I have been able to find, since it adds more than 30 new structures to our Minecraft with different themes and covering practically all the biomes in the game. From new archaeological sites, jungle paths, barns to new temples, ruins, viewpoints, etc. All with great attention to detail and very good decorations. We will even have some interesting ones such as the Hobbit house, the bunker, and this abandoned train station. A pretty good and very complete mod that you should definitely try. Twin Sun Towers is a well-known mod that completely improves all the structures related to villagers, from new renovated villages, pillager outposts, and even new boats with villagers. First of all, it improves all the villages in Minecraft Vanilla and also adds new variants for each biome in the game, such as the classic plains, taiga, and snowy villages, to some new ones like the jungle, swamp, or cherry forests. In the same way, it also adds new variants to the pillagers for each biome in the game, from the taiga, desert, jungle, etc. In addition, it also adds some special structures and villages that we can find throughout our world, such as the rustic village, the eastern outpost, or the merchant camp. And to improve the deserts of our Minecraft, we have the enorme desert mod. This mod completely improves Minecraft deserts, adding 5 new environmental structures that can be found throughout the desert, from ruins, fossils, outposts, oases, and hares. But that's not all, since each of these structures has different variants that can be found, such as the normal oasis, the oasis with watermelons, or this one that has a small camp. Likewise, with each structure of this mod, giving us more than 30 different variants that will be scattered throughout the desert. And if we combine it with a nom-AC, we will have some structures with their respective variants, but this time more focused on oceans and beaches. Here we will have some structures such as islands, ships, lighthouses, etc. In each of them we will have different variants such as the island with a camp, the mountain, and the glacier. In this same way, we will have different variants for the lighthouses and ships, giving us more than 15 different structures for the oceans and beaches of our Minecraft. Medieval buildings, as its name suggests, adds 6 new structures with a medieval theme. Among these, we will have the Viking ship, watchtowers, medieval houses, and the best for my taste, the fort, which is a very well-decorated medieval village that we can use as a base, since it has all the sections of a temporary base such as a small stable, storage, even a farming area. In addition, in it we can also find a lot of villagers with whom we can trade. Finally, this mod also has 2 separate versions, which would be Medieval and Nether and End Edition, which also add medieval structures to the different dimensions of the game. Additional Structures is a mod that adds more than 150 environmental structures that we can find throughout our world and in different dimensions of the game. The idea of the mod is to give much more immersion to the game, so we will have small structures such as fallen trees, bushes, pillars, etc., to slightly larger structures such as temples, statues, camps, tombs, etc. And as I said, it also expands into other dimensions of the game, such as the Nether, where we will have dangs, altars, mini fortresses, etc. And in the end, we will have some altars, ruins, etc. One of the mods with the most structures in this top, and that will make our Minecraft much more immersive. But if we want much more epic structures, we have the Trek mod. This is one of the best environmental structure mods today. It adds more than 150 new structures where we can find new villages, forts, camps, ruins, houses, etc. But what makes it one of the most epic mods is that it adds a rarity system to the structures, where we will pass common structures to medium, rare, and ultra-rare ones, these being obviously the most difficult to find, but at the same time they are the most epic structures in this top. In this category, we will have 3 structures. The first is this huge island with a skull in the center, which will be inhabited by villagers and where we will have some windmills and an explorer ship. On the other hand, we have these floating islands that are connected by bridges and where we will find some villagers, a giant mansion, and even a greenhouse with bees. However, this is the small version, since the last structure is a gigantic floating island where we will practically have a city on top of it. Definitely one of the best structure mods that we can find today. Immersive Structures is a mod that adds more than 30 new environmental structures throughout our world. This mod tries to combine real-life structures within Minecraft, such as a hot air balloon, the train station, and the observatory. We will also have some farm-type structures such as the cocoa, cactus, and sunflower structures. And also new houses such as the bee house, the Viking house, and the mountain house. Finally, it also adds a new sawmill that we can find in some biomes of the game. A mod with very original structures adapted to exploring our Minecraft. But if we want to improve the sawmill, we have the Sawmill House mod. This is a small but very interesting mod that adds a new structure to our Minecraft, which would be the sawmill. We can find it anywhere in our world, and in it we will find some villagers, as well as some chests with loot related to wood. However, the most interesting thing about this mod is that it is compatible with the sawmill mod, so if we combine them, in addition to appearing with the workbench, we will also have its respective villager with whom we can trade. A small but very interesting mod, in case you like playing with the sawmill mod.